Deep within the Ironroot Mountains, where firelight danced on cavern walls and the constant clang of hammers was the heartbeat of the realm, lived Rurin unlike his kin. Renowned for crafting mighty axes and impenetrable armor, Rurin was small. Even for a dwarf, his hands, though clever, lacked the crushing strength needed for shaping thick steel ingots, while others forged shields that could turn dragon fire. Rurin's attempts often resulted in warped, unusable pieces, earning him quiet sighs and averted glances. He felt like a misplaced cog in the great machine of the mountain forges, a constant ache of insignificance settling in his chest. He spent his days mending tools or polishing finished works, the glow of grand creations only deepening the shadow over his own dreams. One lonely evening, perched high on a ledge overlooking the bustling central forge, Rurin watched sparks fly like defiant stars. A profound sadness washed over him. He picked up a discarded sliver of star metal, a rare, luminous or usually reserved for ceremonial pieces, deemed too small for any significant work. Holding its cool, smooth surface, a quiet yearning stirred within him. It wasn't brute force he possessed, but patience and a delicate touch honed by years of meticulous repair work. Perhaps, just perhaps, he could make something different? The thought flickered like a fragile flame against the overwhelming darkness of his doubt. The next day, shrouded in secrecy, Rurin claimed a forgotten, cold forge at the mountain's edge. He stoked a small, precise fire. Not the roaring inferno of the masters. He heated the star metal sliver slowly, patiently, learning its song, a high, pure chime unlike the deep clang of iron shaping it. Required tiny, precise taps with a jeweler's hammer, a rhythm completely alien to the powerful blows echoing from below. Sweat beaded on his brow as he coaxed the reluctant metal, his arms trembling with the unfamiliar, sustained effort. Progress was agonizingly slow, measured in millimeters, and frustration threatened to extinguish his fragile hope. Each tiny tap felt like a monumental effort against the weight of expectation. Seeking solace, Rurin ventured into the ancient forest bordering the mountains. He found a venerable treekin elder whose bark was etched with centuries of wisdom. He poured out his heart, his smallness, the useless sliver, the impossible dream. Alara listened, her leaves rustling softly. Strength, young Rurin, she murmured, her voice like wind through branches, is not only the force that breaks stone, it is also the persistence of the root that cracks it. The patience of the spider weaving its web. Your flame is small? Then make it sing with purpose. Forged not for the hand that wields power, but for the heart that seeks peace. Her words settled deep within him, shifting his perspective like or refined. Returning to his hidden forge, Rurin felt a new resolve. He wasn't trying to mimic the masters anymore. He embraced his small flame, his delicate touch. He focused on the star metal's inherent nature, its lightness, its resonance. He imagined not a weapon, but a vessel for pure sound. Days blurred into nights. He shaped the metal with agonizing care, thinning it, curving it, listening intently to the subtle changes in its tone. With each tap he fashioned a tiny, perfect clapper from a crystal shard. He was not forging steel. He was coaxing music from starlight, pouring every ounce of his loneliness, his hope, his newfound understanding into the luminous, crescent-shaped form slowly emerging under his trembling hands. Finally, after weeks of solitary toil, it was complete. It was not large or imposing. It was a single, exquisitely small bell, no bigger than a dwarf's thumb. Its surface shimmered with captured starlight, smooth and flawless. Holding his breath, Rurin gently tapped it with the crystal clapper. A sound filled the small forge, pure and clear as mountain spring water. It was a single, perfect note that seemed to vibrate not just in the air, but deep within Rurin's own bones. It held a profound sweetness, a gentle strength that washed over him, dissolving the years of accumulated sadness, replacing it with a profound, trembling peace. Tears, hot and unexpected, traced paths through the soot on his cheeks as the note lingered, shimmering in the quiet air. Driven by an impulse he couldn't name, Rurin carried the tiny bell to the central cavern just as the weary miners and smiths were gathering after a long shift. The air was thick with the smell of sweat, smoke, and unspoken weariness. Without a word, Holding the bell high so its starlight caught the firelight, he rang it the pure, clear note cut through the cavern's clamor like light through shadow. It washed over the gathered dwarves. A miner rubbing a sore shoulder felt the ache ease. A smith burdened by a day of failures felt his frustration melt away, replaced by calm. A lingering argument between two elders simply dissolved. Forgotten, the note resonated deep within each heart, bringing not sleep, but a profound, shared moment of peace and harmony. They stood utterly still, eyes wide, breaths caught, bathed in the bells. Gentle magic. Rurin, the small dwarf with the delicate touch, stood before his kin. The silence stretched, filled only by the bell's fading resonance. Then, not with cheers, but with slow, deep nods of awe and newfound respect, the masters acknowledged him. They saw not weakness, but a different kind of mastery. Rurin's forge was no longer cold. He became the keeper of harmony. He crafted more bells, each unique, each carrying a fragment of peace for troubled hearts. His small flame, guided by patience and understanding, forged not weapons of war, but instruments of profound connection, proving that the greatest strength often lies in the gentlest touch and the purest sound. Echoing long into the quiet nights of the Ironroot Mountains, a lullaby for weary souls.